marketing and emails.
Emails and templates, right halfway down.
There we go,
Nope,
templates.
right there.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to build an email template that's, like an email template might just, you could have a basic one that the salespeople use and engage that just has dear, pulls in their salutation, sincerely, and pulls in the owner of the prospect. So, and then you could have, you could create a few templates that they use regularly. So go ahead and click add email template. And there's drafts and then there's publish. So the draft is, it's a draft phase where you're still editing it. And then once you publish it, then it will be available in Salesforce under Engage or, when you send in a part out email. So the first
So where
thing
does
we'll do
it
is
say drafts and stuff like that? I'm missing that. Or that just, we have to save it first and then
it'll
you change
ask
it?
at the end.
Okay.
It'll ask at the end, do you want to publish this or is this a draft?
Okay.
So let's name it. Do you want to just do like a basic email or?
I'll just do Pat test here, so that's good.
Pat.
Okay.
Right. And
test, and then keep.
And here's your folder of email templates.
Yeah.
It's good to have a folder of email templates. And then your campaign. Go ahead and choose campaign. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody who gets this email is going to be assigned to this campaign. You can assign a campaign based on what they, when they fill out the form, what campaign they're assigned to. But, so we'll just call this email plugin. Is fine.
Email plugin.
Or email test.
Okay.
Either one. Email test. Yeah.
Right. So that is a campaign. So I guess, and that was the one question when I was looking at forms. Like if I create a form, should I create a new campaign called forms, and then all forms, the people go into that particular campaign, or should you just assign it?
Yeah, that's a good idea, because on the form you're going to have a completion action that allows you to say if somebody fills out the form, what campaign should they be associated with. So yeah, you could have just a generic campaign called forms.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then email type, you could send, it could be a text or HTML and text. 99% of the time it will be HTML and text. Down at the bottom is available for, now these are the different categories of email. So you have one-to-one emails. So that would be like if you pull up a contact in Salesforce and you want to select an email in there, it has to be a one-to-one email to show up there.
Yeah.
So we'll make this a one-to-one email. An autoresponder email is an email that is sent, if somebody fills out a form, one of the completion actions will be to send an autoresponder email that says, thank you for contacting us, and here's the information you requested or whatever. So in order for an email to be available as an autoresponder in completion actions, that would have to be checked. So in this example, it's not going to be an autoresponder, so we'll uncheck that. List emails, you want this email template to be available to send to a list of prospects, so we'll keep that checked. And then engagement program emails. If that's checked off, it will appear under, the send engage email list. If it's not checked off, you're not going to see this template there.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and click Save. And that engagement program email only shows up if they buy Engage.
Right.
So there's Okay, so these are the layout email templates that come with Pardot out of the box, and you can also build templates for them. But let's pick one. I usually recommend that people pick one of these responsive email templates because they're responsive to phones. They're designed to be responsive. Responsive Basic is one I use all the time.
That's what I want. I'm not, right to start with, I'm not looking like, can you do a text one and make it responsive too, or is it just you have to pick a template to do that, I guess, so, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, a lot of the emails I send to start with, I think I'll do a lot of just text because, I do get the value of the branding and stuff like that, but, again, until I expand the marketing side of it, I'm not going to, keep it simple to start with the KISS principle,
You're going to
right?
keep it simple.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep. And you know, you can edit this. This is obviously so. Right here, you're across the top. You have some options: building, testing, and sending. And we have to go through all three of
Right.
those.
Right,
So
right.
right now we're in the building section, and then you have editor, HTML, preview, and text. Um, and over to the right is really your canvas. But let's put in a subject. This can be a default subject for the email.
Okay, subject. So let's just go Pat's test again. Okay.
Okay.
Apply
And
layout.
let's click. No, that would be if you wanted to pick a new layout. But let's,
Okay.
over on the left, if you don't want to have an image, you can click on that 600 by 150.
Yeah.
Click on that, and now you have a canvas over on the right. So the
Right.
right-hand side is where you make all your edits.
Right.
And
right.
at the top of that canvas, there's a little arrow that points back and forth, so you can drag that and make it bigger.
Right. Right.
Now, there's some things, frankly, to Pardot that just drive me crazy. Like, it's not that easy to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think,
Yeah.
especially designing an email. But you know, where the power is in the list building and the notifications, the completion actions, page actions, and all that. But they could definitely improve this area, I think. So we can just, if you click on that and just hit your delete button, you can remove that image from the template.
Okay. There we go. That's good.
There we go. All right. And then let's click over to the left to the middle part, which is your text.
Right. Right.
And then now your canvas is on the right.
Right.
So, you know, if you want to delete this and just do a simple
I'll just
email,
send
like
this.
speaker, full in.
This is fine. I'll just send the text, the canned text they gave me here. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I want to show you how variable tags are used in an email. If you
Okay.
go, like, let's say above design your template, you have it say Dear Pat, right, or Dear
Yeah.
Jim, or whoever the name is in the list.
Yeah.
So
get a huge font.
you
on
first have
there,
to pick your font. Yeah,
I'll
the
just
huge
do a
font. But,
big one. That's fine. And then dear, and
Okay.
then put in a variable tag and pick my name. I guess.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Where it
first
gets
name.
tricky, yep, let's do first name and then comma. Now, what's nice is in Salesforce or in Pardot, I'm going to show you, you can change the default that comes in there. So let's say you have some prospects that don't have a first name field filled out. We can have it say, Dear friend, Dear customer, Dear whatever,
Yeah.
on those prospects. So I'll show you how to do that as well. So down at the bottom, let's go over the sincerely part with the variable tags.
Down at the bottom, like down here.
Okay, you know, at the end, let's do sincerely, Pat. You know,
Yeah.
the email goes to. And we can pull in. Now, this won't apply to you, but with your other clients, you can pull in the variable tag for the owner.
Right.
So go to variable tag. Instead of having it say Pat, like with you, it'll just say Pat. But if you page down, there's like, let's see, assigned, or maybe it's up. We have to kind of.
Address.
Assigned user,
Assigned
first
email.
name.
Assigned first name. There we go.
So you have,
Okay.
so it would say sincerely Pat. And then underneath that, you could put in their signature, you know,
Yeah.
assigned user,
Right. Right.
full name, you know, and all that. So, and that gets into testing too, because if there's a prospect on the list that doesn't have an assigned user, you need to think about who it's going to be from.
Right. Right.
And there's ways to do that. So the other piece I wanted to show you is the hyperlink. So let's say you want it, you can link not only to a URL, a web page, but you can link to a landing page. You can link to PDFs that are stored in Pardot. So let's say you highlighted a piece of text.
Yeah. So.
You know, and you
I'll
wanted
just
to
say,
hyperlink.
So poem, and then I could just. Well, I know what that is, so I don't have to.
Oh wait,
so-
let's go highlight poem and then go up to see the little anchor. You click on that
The little
in
anchor.
Pardot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find the anchor here. Which
Yep,
one
that-
is it? This
The
one
little
here?
link.
Yeah, the link
Yes.
there. Okay, yeah. There we go. Right, right.
So
And
you
I-
see where it says link type? if you open up that tick box, this is where I'm showing you what's different than, say, your typical Gmail.
Okay.
Open up where it says link type right above there.
Yep. Okay.
So you have URL. You can link to another email. You can link to a file that's in Pardot, and you can link to a form or landing page. So if you go down to, say, landing page, it'll prompt you for that. There aren't any landing pages built in here, but that little arrow below it,
Yeah.
that would list all your landing pages. So you could hyperlink to another landing page in
Cool.
Pardot.
Cool.
So that's something you would do if you put in a button. Say you have to build the button, you have to cut and paste, build it. But when you hyperlink that button to a landing page, that's where they can click to see content.
Right. Right. Right.
So, and then URL works the same way as like in a Gmail, where you put in the web.
Email reference page file, and then that's so if I load up a file in here, that's what I would do is I'd say get this, and then okay, so I'll get you to show me after how to load up a file. So I'm sure it's pretty simple, but okay.
Right, that's where your autoresponders will come in. How you were saying that you want them to get a file attached with your I forget what it was for. It was for a list of your customers or something. We can do that. So those are the main things on building an email. So go ahead and click Save Draft right there. We'll just save what we did.
Okay.
And the other pieces I wanted to go over were going across the top was HTML. I don't get too much in my training. I don't get into a lot of editing because that's just time consuming, right?
Yeah. Again, this is all Greek. I mean, I understand it a little bit, but I'm not gonna. That's not me, right there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. So when you build the editor, the WYSIWYG editor, it creates the HTML to the right.
Right.
And then if they are an HTML wizard, they can go in there and edit away. And then we'll go through these tabs. Preview. So once the email is built, you can, take a look at it, and you click Enable Prospect Preview.
Right. So these follow on Twitter, friend on, forward to friend, those types of things. Do I have to do something to link that stuff, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's where that hyperlink will come into play.
So I have to. Is there like a standard one that I just set it once, and then every time these show up down there, or every single time do I have to go in and put in my Twitter?
Why it's helpful. That's why it's helpful to have one basic template set up.
Right.
And they just copy that template and edit it, so then they're not having to re-edit the Twitter and Facebook stuff.
Right.
So I work with an agency that does that. They here in near me, they'll create a basic template, basic landing page, and a basic form, and design it, with the right logos and all that, and for the client. I think they charge like $2,500. So for all three of those things. So if there's a client that doesn't have an agency, I know of one that does Pardot work specifically.
Okay.
That. Go ahead and click on Open in Pop-Up. I don't know why it's not pulling up prospect name. Cancel out of here. And you clicked on Enable Prospect View, right?
I don't know if I did or not.
Over to the left, the blue button.
Enable Prospect View. There we go.
Oh, there we go. So it put in a sample just so you can see what it looks like.
Right.
And down at the bottom, let's see what the, Open and Pop-Up. Fine. And you can see what the email says. And sincerely.
And it didn't put me in, but.
Yeah.
Because I'm
so
not
we'll go
the owner.
You're probably not assigned to that person.
Yeah.
But we'll go into, go ahead and click the close out of here, the X top. Now let's go over, we'll get into sending, and that will affect who it's from. But click on text to the right of preview. So the email will go out to clients that accept HTML, and then it will also, if they only accept text emails, it will look like this. So it's very important to come in here after you edit your email template and make it really look good. You come to text and you click sync from HTML.
There we go.
And,
just clean it up.
And then you just have to clean it up, right? Because it will show up looking like this in a text client.
So when you say clean it up, am I going to get rid of all of these this stuff here, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll still pull in the variable tags, but you will get rid of links.
Right.
Like hyperlinks will come out like at the bottom there.
So if I'm going to do hyperlinks, like download a file and things like that, so they always have to be HTML text emails then, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's
yep. And very few clients just take text. I don't know of it,
Yeah.
I don't know of any. Do you? I haven't.
No, I haven't had too much issue there, I don't think.
Yeah. So, all right. So then we just went through building, and then now let's click on testing. So we can send this email to yourself or to a group of people at your company to look at the email. So we'll just send it to you. Yep. So a task list would be built as a list of prospects. And
right.
So send to individual emails. Use temporary data. Sender. Okay. Yeah. That's, and so then you'll get a sample of both the HTML email and the text email, so you can see what it looks like. It might take a minute. It could take a minute, so let's.
Sure,
well, that's coming. We'll go to sending. So when it comes through and you look at it and you like it, or you come back and you make changes to it under building, this is the this is what you do. You set it up before you send it out to your list. You say who is the sender. So if you open that up, you could you have choices. You could pick an assigned user. You could pick a specific user.
There we go, Pat Hines. That's good.
Yep. And then the custom reply to is what do you want the reply to look like?
Just my regular. Is that what you would typically put in there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you could do, for a company, they might do info at, whatever the.
Okay.
And then there's your subject line. Now we put it in the beginning part, but you have a chance to just edit that.
Right.
I have not seen Advanced Subject Composer. That looks new to me.
See what it does. Insert a variable.
Oh,
tag.
you can put variable tag. They added that. That's great, because you used to have to go search for what the variable tag was if you wanted, their first name to be in the subject. So that's good.
Right. Okay.
All right. So then save draft and published template. So now you have your basic email template.
Right,
do you think did the email come through yet?
Let's just take a look here. It doesn't look like it yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Okay. Maybe because it's the first one, I don't know, but all right.
Okay, so we'll see. So now once you have the email template built, then you go to list emails to actually send it out. So you go to marketing.
Okay,
marketing. Emails.
Whoops, gotta slow down here a little bit. Emails.
And new list email. New list email.
There we go. Okay. All right.
So now this is where you're sending out your email campaign. So we have a template that can be used on many list emails, or
Right. There we go. Okay. And then uncategorize, choose a campaign. I'll just put it into my test email there. Choose selected. did I? So this, and they're asking me HTML text. They're asking me what kind of email I'm going to send, right? So it's and I
Yep.
don't. I get the A/B testing thing. I'm not doing that right now, obviously, right? So it's
Okay, right.
yeah.
The save.
Save it. So what if I click A/B testing? Then it's two lists, or how? What does that mean?
Yeah, it gives you that functionality of sending to breaking up your list.
Right.
Um, and sending out. You could change the subject, or you could change the font, or change an image to see which one responds better.
Right.
So here, now it's a list showing all of your templates that you built. So here's your template, and then you can edit that template here. So if you have a basic template built out, you can, change the text and whatnot right here.
Yeah.
Be specific to this list. This is where the targeted marketing comes in.
Right. Right.
Okay, so you could change your subject here. You can change some content and whatnot, but your template saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
All right, so then here we went over building, so let's go to testing. It's very similar to where templates are. So this, again, you can send a test of your specific email to yourself or to a group of
Maybe
people.
I'll send another one. The other one hasn't come through yet, so it's
Okay, we'll try this one.
maybe he doesn't like the .ca. It's like, oh, with under Donald Trump, you can't send emails to Canada anymore.
No.
No,
That's
I'm
not
just
true.
teasing. It's a joke. All right, and there we go. Okay.
Okay, so then let's go back to the top and go to what's different under a list emails is the sending, because this is where you
Right.
go to pick the list you want to send to. So now you have this new field here.
Right.
That's when you pick your list that you built.
So I can I'm going to send it to these guys, and then and then that just cancels it if I want to send it to that. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to really send it, but then
No, I don't
suppression
want to
list-
send that to them.
Right. Suppression list would be like if you wanted to suppress your customers. If you wanted to send out an email, but you wanted to make sure none of your customers saw the email or, whatnot, you could build a suppression list.
Right.
They would not receive it. Now, unsubscribed will they'll automatically be unsubscribed. So even if they're a part of a list and they're marked unsubscribed, they will not receive the email. So you don't have
Right.
to worry about suppressing unsubscribed.
Okay.
And then here's your from. And I wanted to go over the from a little bit more because there's some tricks to that, especially when you're working with your clients. You see it says specific user.
From
down in the center.
down here. Okay, that's the from stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We set that up in the template. But let's say you picked, instead of specific user, you picked assigned user.
Okay.
What you'll also have to do, click the plus sign. So if there is no assigned user on a prospect, who do you want the sender to be?
Right.
So you could have it, so that's what a best practice would be. And I think it even forces you to do this when you save the email.
Okay.
All right? And then you have your subject, your advanced subject. And then you can schedule over to the right when you want the email to go out, or you could send now.
Right.
Either way. But down at the bottom are what's called completion actions. And completion actions are on the list email that we're sending. They're not on the template. So these are completion actions if the prospect opens the email, clicks the email, or unsubscribes.
Right.
It won't automatically notify you. So a completion action might be to notify you that they opened the email. Although it's not a good indicator that they're interested or active. Better would be clicked.
Yeah, it clicks. Yeah.
And you can do this, like let's say you have a whole bunch of URLs in your email. What if you only want to see if they downloaded the file or they clicked on the landing page link? You could say apply actions only if a specific URL is clicked. So go ahead and check that off.
Okay.
And it'll
I just
list
did that.
all of the URLs that are in the email, and you can pick which one. This is most.
Okay.
All right. And then
Perfect.
also another completion action would be to notify you, right? So let's open up that pick list and notify user. Yep. Or assigned user.
Yeah.
And you could do both. You could notify you and the assigned user.
Just add another. Okay. All right.
All right. And let's see what some of the other completion actions are in the email. Let's open up that window. I'll just point out a few more. Oh, adjust score. So if they click on the email and if they click on that link, you could increase their score here. We haven't gotten into scoring yet, but there are certain scores you're going to set up in the system for certain general actions like opening an email or having an opportunity. But this score will be in addition to what those standard score assignments are. So it'll be 10 points beyond this value. So that's another completion action. And let's open that up again, and I'll point out a couple of other useful tools. So you have, add to list. So if they, click on a link and they see a landing page, especially in a specific topic, you could have a list of clients that are interested in oil and gas or the pipeline or whatever, and you can have them automatically be added to that list based on their behavior.
Right.
And what else? Let's look through that list here. Take a minute. We have add to list, add to Salesforce campaign. So this is really good. So you have a campaign in Salesforce called oil and gas. Well, if they fill out, if they click on this link, you can add them to the campaign. And that's really where the ROI tracking and calculations are best done in Salesforce because it's very specific to, one person can be part of many campaigns in Salesforce.
Yeah, and I don't think it doesn't look like in Engage. It doesn't look like you can do this because you're not getting this list interface here, I guess, right? So if I sent out an email through Engage, but I put a bunch of links in there, and I said, if they click this link, I want to put them in this campaign, then I'm better to send it from a native Pardot interface. Okay.
Right. The Engage is good for salespeople to send to their own, their own clients.
Yeah.
Specific personal email. So that's add to Salesforce campaign. So if they clicked on this link, their name would be added to the Salesforce campaign, whatever you create.
Well, that's awesome. That's a good feature.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when you've got, you have your ROI on your campaign in Salesforce, you have your cost, and you have your revenue based on the opportunities associated with that campaign, right? And that's where the value really comes in.
Yeah. Well, that's
All
nice.
Right. Okay, so let's look at more completion actions, see what else is in there. So this is really the heart of your consulting that I think is helping them set up these, these completion actions.
Right.
Assigned to a group. So you can, if somebody fills out, or clicks on a link, you could create a task in Salesforce. You could assign prospect via Salesforce Active Assignment Rule. So you could send them over as a lead. It might not happen with an email because you already have them, but if they fill out a form, there's also these completion actions. One is assign prospect via Salesforce Active Assignment Rule. So that would make that lead automatically sent over to Salesforce as a lead and check off that box. Let's use assignment rules. So that's a best practice, is to have them, and that's where your value comes in, is helping them set up active assignment rules and using that in Pardot.
Yeah.
So then you have assigned a group, assigned a user, change prospect's default field, create a Salesforce task, notify, remove from a list. So they, if they have a certain action, you may want them removed from your prospect list and put into, a different list. And then there's your send autoresponder email too.
Right. Right.
So if they do certain things, you can have an email go out to them.
Send them an email, then send them a second email.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Spam them to death.
Exactly. Exactly. We're coming.
I never open up emails anymore.
No.
I scan them. I never open them because I know what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I guess that was one question: is that does this have to do all the tracking, opens, and stuff like that? Do they always have to be HTML emails? Like I know they used to be that way. Or if I sent a text, does it still say, "Oh, I can," is the person opened it, or those kinds of things?
I don't know. I think that it tracks. I think that it tracks it. I've never even thought that it wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It used to be.
Question.
I mean that was whatever a couple years ago or whatever. It was the HTML that caused kind of the acknowledgement or whatever that allowed you to track. And then if it was just pure text, it wouldn't. There was nothing in there that they could track. But I'm sure they've got past that.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I could look that up.
Okay.
Okay, so that's assignment rules, or not assignment rules, completion actions, and you'll see that in Forms and other places in Salesforce.
Right.
So, so do you think you have a good handle on the difference between a template and a list email?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, difference, right? Okay. So go ahead and click Save or Cancel.
Yeah, let's
to remove the list.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Let's see. Why can't I see your screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right.
That email never came through. That's
Did
weird.
it come
My test
through?
one. No.
Check your little refresh. Click on your pull up there. You're up at the top, the little arrow. No. It didn't come through.
Well, let me just see your promotions. Oh, there it is. Came in my promotions. That's it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So that's the text version.
The text one, yeah. And then we can. And that was we sent it without doing the. This one should have.
Right, it wasn't a part of the list, right?
Yeah.
That was just
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've done emails for sure, right? I mean, I used vertical response for the last few years. So this is much more robust than vertical response, but the concepts are similar.
Okay, right. And like I said, some of them are easier to use, like Constant Contact, so much easier to use to design a template, but just the other features in Pardot are far better.
Powerful there. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back into Pardot, and I'll show you where you can load your content. Like, so if you go to Marketing and go down to Content, and File. Whoops.
Went too far. Marketing, Content, Files. Okay.
So if you have any PDF white papers that you want attached to those autoresponder emails in either a hyperlink or as an attachment, that you can load them in here. So you don't have to rely on them being in your WordPress. No.
So what's the difference between upload a file and add a file here?
Click Add a File. I think they're the same thing. Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
If you upload a file, I don't think you have the ability to.
In folders here, I could go in and files. I might want to be a little bit more folder centric. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to see there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your vanity URL, you can change that. You see where it says go.pardot.com? That's where those directions come in, where I sent in the beginning. If you go into your DNS or your domain, you can add an alias so that it doesn't say go.pardot.com. It says, Poem go.poem.com. So
Right.
it looks a little more relevant to you, and it doesn't look like it's going to Pardot.
So I want to change this, is what you're saying here.
Yeah.
This vanity URL.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's in your DNS.
Okay.
Do you want me to send you directions to that, or?
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great.
So it's like an alias. Send alias directions. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and then there's your completion actions right there. You're going to see those around all over the place. So if
Right,
somebody
right.
downloads a file, what do you want those completion actions to be?
Right, right.
Same choices you have here.
Same. Okay, perfect.
All right?
Awesome.
Okay. So that's list emails. What time? How are we on time? Oh, what time
Yeah,
do we
just
start?
about.
10? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
so,
Yeah, so I think that wraps up the session for today. So next week
Okay.
we'll get into landing pages and forms in
okay.
depth. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Yeah, this was helpful.
Hey.
So I'll fool around with this, and yeah, I mean, it's when you first get into it, because it's so big, it's daunting. But once you've spent a bit of time with it, it actually flows a little bit better than than what I thought it would. But yeah, no, so
Okay.
it's starting to get a bit of a hang of it, and I'll start using that
Good.
Engage this week. I was actually just going to send out an email to somebody, just a couple people to see how it works there. So.
Okay.
It's through Engage. I wonder when I go through Engage if it allows me to. Is it always an HTML text email, or is it HTML text, or is it just the text? But I'll look at that when I click on it and see if they give you the choice. there.
HTML text.
Yeah.
HTML. Yeah.
On that side of it.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Good. So we will meet again next Friday. Do we have that on?
Okay. Yeah.
Same
Next
time.
Friday for sure.
Okay. All right. Have a great
Okay.
weekend, Pat. I'll talk
Yeah.
to you
We'll
soon.
talk to you later. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.